Alright, so the brother Nate's just been showing me around Opotiki, and we've actually just pulled up to his captain's house here. So this is the matua here, Barney.
Welcome to Opotiki, brother.
Kia ora, my brother.
And good to meet you, bro.
Yeah, it's good
Seen
to meet
a lot
you
of
as well.
your vlogs, are they?
Yeah, brother.
But I haven't met you in person, so.
Brother, were you born here in Opotiki, was it, or?
I was born in Hastings.
Yep.
Born in Hastings. Then I was whāngai out, I think about when I was 3 months old. Given to my grandmother, and my grandmother given me to her eldest daughter, and I was raised by her, Tainu. And my stepdad was Jumbo, Paul, Nicholas, and they raised me.
So I mean, what brought you out to Opotiki? Initially, was it for the work, was it?
Yeah, my father, he worked in the bush felling native trees and moved from Tihoi in the King Country to Opotiki. We moved straight up to Wairata. That's where he worked with all the in native bush.
Oh yeah, so that's huge out here in the Bay of Plenty, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, that's back in the early 60s, eh?
Yeah.
Might have been about 70 or 71 we moved here.
Was it whānau were pretty well off back in those days, or?
Well, I don't think we were very well off. I remember before we moved to Opotiki, we were eating out of pot lids. Those were our plates. So no, I don't think we were well off. We were fair, eh? We had a roof over our head. And just that, didn't have all that little flash stuff.
So I mean, what were your earliest memories of, say, you know, seeing like patches and like that sort of stuff?
Yeah, earliest memories would have been my brothers.
Oh, okay.
One of them, I think both of them were in the Wairat Mob, originals, Spencer and Hana. I think my brother Spencer, he moved from the Wairat Mob to the Black Power in Rotorua. I think it was President one park there. That's when he used to come back and visit my mum in Opotiki. Yeah, and he used to come over with his patch and that. The first time I seen that sort of stuff. Funny thing was, when he was in the Blacks, I was for the Maungu Mob, because I used to travel to Rotorua. I don't know really where I got my influence from for the Maungu Mob. I think it was through my cousin Joseph Shinunu. So I was sort of inspired by the colour red.
Well, so what year did the mob start here in Opotiki?
We started 1983.
1983.
Well, sort of unofficial, but we had patches. Yeah. But it was sort of unofficial because we didn't make it to the convention that year. Following year, 84, we made it to the convention, and that sort of made us official.
And what would you say, if you don't mind sharing, what sort of led to that, brother, the formation of the mob here in Opo?
Well, my version is why we started up the Maungu Mob was that when we would go to the pub after work, we would sit on our tables and just enjoy ourselves. And the Black Power would come over, I think from Whakatane. They would come in and push us off our tables, and that sort of made us angry because we were the locals, but we were sort of outnumbered by them. They look a bit bigger and rougher and tougher, but they used to come over once a week, I think, and do that, push us off our tables. So we needed a solution to stop this, and any solution that was brought up was, let's start up the Maungu Mob, because we knew there was a conflict for the Black Power. So that was the only solution put on the table, and that's the solution we took. 1984, we got some patches made. Our president then was Mike Edwards.
So was he considered like the founder, bro, or like were all of you just the founders together?
I wouldn't say he was he was the founder. There was 10 of us. There was 10 of us that were founders. Yeah, there was 10 founders. And strangely enough, my brother Spencer, who was, in the Wairep and the Black Power. He was he joined us. He joined us through Mike Edwards.
Oh, so your brother ended up joining as well?
My brother ended up joining us, and he probably had the most experience of being a gang member, so he became the vice president.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Yep.
this was pretty freaky because he used to be president for the Black Power. Now he's the vice president for Opotiki chapter.
Oh, far out.
At that time I was just young. I was like 16, I think.
Oh, so you were 16 at that time.
I was the youngest out of the original 10.
And so that's the chapter that you're still with now,
That's the
after all these years?
That's the chapter, yeah, that I'm still with, yes.
I mean, I guess nowadays, because of the media attention, especially in the last couple of years, the town sort of developed a reputation as, the murder capital, the media labels it a gang town, all of this sort of stuff. Like, that reputation, is that a recent thing, or has that been going on for decades now, that sort of reputation?
Yeah, I suppose when you're young, you want to create you a reputation. And normally it's a bad reputation. But not everything is bad. There are some good stuff that go in there, but that doesn't get put forward. Only the bad stuff gets put forward. So, it's not all bad. Our bad time when we started in the 80s, that was our real rough time. We had brothers that had gone through state care too.
Yeah. Was that something that you went through, bro?
I didn't go through that. I probably was lucky because I got whangaed out.
Yeah.
But my older brother, is just 1 year older than me, he went through that. He went through that.
Oh, okay.
State care. So some of that state care behaviour was filtered through our chapter. Now, even if you didn't go to state care, we had cousins, we had uncles, and we had brothers that went. So when they came out, that got filtered down to us. So yeah, we led some of those bad behaviours.
Over the last couple of years, they have brought out in the media the sort of portrayal of the town as a gang town and things like this. And has it always had that reputation since back in the 80s and the 90s, or is that a recent?
I think it was started in 2004. And between 2004 and 2019, brother, it was given homicide capital. So those are the years it has been put on.
We used to work in the forestry, pruning, planting.
Oh, so you used to work in the bush as well?
Yeah. But back then, we used to get burnt by the contractor. Money was peanuts anyway. You were like a monkey working for peanuts. And it was hard work. Go down Opotiki, you're like, it's goat country. You've got to be a goat to climb up there, but that's where we used to plant.
True,
money was rat shit, bro. And the contractors would rip us off because we were young. We really didn't know figures, uneducated and that.
Yeah.
Leaving school too early. Yeah, so really got to hate that job, only because used to get ripped off by the contractors. What came here was the kiwi fruit.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of forestry contractors went to kiwi fruit.
Yep.
Because they had land, so then they put kiwi fruit blocks on their land, and that's where I moved from forestry to the kiwi fruit.
Oh, true.
Much easier work. One thing my mother told me was, because she was a cleaner for all her life and worked in Hastings Hospital, and she said it's not how much you make, it's how you spend it. Those were her wise words to me.
Yep, wise words, all right.
No, I'm still here. I'm working in the kiwi fruit. Been working in the kiwi fruit for like 30 years now, going on 35 might be.
So you're still working there now?
I'm still working there today.
Wow, man, good on you.
If they like me, well, I like them because not many people liked us. Back in our days when it first came in,
yeah,
and they saw you with gang tattoos on your face, and they would be frightened of you straight away.
Yeah.
But these bosses, they sort of smiled at me, so hey, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying with this fella. Eh?
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Well, on that point, brother, like, can you remember, like, when the facial tattoos came in, brother? Like, for here in Opotiki? Like, do you remember who was, like, the first one, or, like?
Yeah. First one to get tattooed up was our brother Trout. These fellas were in jail. They're gone to jail. He came out with some tattoos on.
Oh, from prison, eh?
Off from prison.
Yeah. Because obviously for people that don't live here in New Zealand that are watching, like the facial tattoos obviously here in New Zealand are a big thing compared to other countries, you know, so like it is obviously a lot more part of the culture here, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's I think it was brought in to be rebellion against the Māori, because when the Māori started,
Well, because did it start in Hastings, bro? Is that where you're originally from? Or?
that's the story I've always been told, eh? But I've met a original, and I've asked him who was the first chapter to start, and he said Petone.
Oh, true, in Wellington.
So these, you know, those are their views, their stories. Yeah, Hastings was always the one I was told, fatherland.
Yep. So I mean, how was life like in the mob back in those days, bro? Back in those early days?
It was sort of scandalous, brother.
Yeah, I bet. Back then.
You know, just starting out.
Yeah, just starting out.
And then, you know, this is all trial and error for us.
Yeah.
Because we had no existing members, you know, that come from other chapters.
Yeah.
And taught us how to be a member. So as we more or less adopted, in my view, adopted the ways of the rest of the Māori mob that were close to us, which our closest neighbours was Te Teko.
Oh, yeah. Is that Boot Hill, is it? Do they call it Boot Hill, or?
Yeah, Boot Hill back in the day, yeah. So Te Teko were our closest neighbours, and they were bad buggers. So, you know, so we had to be like that too. Be like bad buggers too.
Well, did they have the mob first, or was it here?
They had started before us. They were in 1980, I think they started.
Yeah. Can you name any of their like original members, or?
At the time, when we started, you know, there was Foxy, Sam, Scope, Warps. But there is a few more of them, bro. You know, JC.
Oh, so that was over in Te Teko.
That was in Te Teko. And they used to come over and after us, bro. When they heard that we had trouble over here.
Yep.
They will come over and just support us. If there was a fight going to go down, they would come over. Yeah. And I think that was through our president and Te Teko's president at the time, Foxy. They were both brother-in-laws.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Well, so these are some of the old pictures, is it, brother?
Yeah, these are some of our... that's our first patch, brother. And that's me. And that was taken up at Barry Crump's opening for his first book he wrote.
So who drew that bulldog?
That was a fellow, Jason Rinapia.
Oh,
He was the first one walking around this town with a Opotiki patch.
True that. So that's the original
He was
one.
the only member. That's me and my son.
Are these some of the original members here?
Yeah, so a few of our originals in there. Back when we also started, bro, there was also a league team started.
Oh, that's the league team, eh?
Yeah, this is the league team. This is probably in the earlier. This is the earlier team. That's taken at Kia Tour at a Warriors tournament. This was
Oh, true.
all the Warriors in the Bay of Plenty came over and played, and we put it on.
What's the league team here?
Kia Tour.
Kia Tour.
Kia Tour was its name, and Jim Whare was the founder of that league club. He was a good coach too, that was Jim Whare. He coached 2 teams. He made two clubs up. Our one Kia Tour, and later on he went to he made up the Knights, which was Harkes, which was the opposition.
Oh, true.
Yeah, because I come out of jail,
Yeah.
and our league team had changed. Our president was running the league team, and when I left, it was Jim Whare running the league team.
True that.
And Jim Whare took us through some Champions of Champions. We won some Champions of Champions twice in the Bay of Plenty competition.
Nice.
Yeah, and so when I come out of jail, our president was running the league team.
Is there writing on that, bro? Or?
Down the bottom, yeah, Puriru under the.
Oh,
Our
Puriru.
brother Chuck always used to be in Puriru. I thought he was going to be a Puriru perch member actually,
Oh, true.
and then he wanted to join us. Oh, massive! Because he was influence to me anyway, Chuck. Because just because he had a bit more experience.
And that was the old pad, was it?
That was one of our pads. That was probably that was a 24/7 bar. 24/7 bar, and that only ran for like maybe 8 months, and then got shut down. Was a good pad because it had some rules in there. One of the rules were no fighting, and there was anybody, even me. If you had a fight, you got kicked out for the night, just for the night. You were allowed back the next day.
Did you ever get kicked out?
I didn't have a fight. If you had a fight, well, that mean those rules that we made are all shit. Hey, so yeah. But there were a few of the brothers that would play up, and they would get told to leave or escorted out.
Yep.
But you're allowed back in the next day. A lot of our town ended up here, which our local pubs didn't like. They even asked us if we will close down on a Thursday,
Oh, true
so that they could get the publicans coming in,
Yeah.
because they would always come down to our pad because we had like a tick up book. Hey, but you could tick up as much as you like, long as you paid it the next week, and that happened.
Well, so like when you mentioned that, brother, like how is like the mongrel mob seen by like the rest of the town?
Yeah, I suppose it's been a mixture, eh? No, especially because not all of us are well behaved. Yeah, I remember when we were young, we were like antisocial. Police back then were assholes. They would provoke you to do something so they can arrest you, and do all kinds of stuff.
There's a lot of stories that have come out about the police back in the day in the Bay of Plenty, bro. Before the mob actually started here, were there any other gangs? Well, there were no other gangs here in town, was it?
There was a group here. I don't know if you can call them a gang. They were the Wilwins from up the Waiwaka Pa.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, so we used to fight them too.
Well, what makes you say like you wouldn't call them a gang? Like, so what were they like?
Well, today I think they perceive themselves as a family, whānau.
Oh, okay.
Whānau,
But wouldn't you guys sort of perceive the same thing as well?
That,
Like the whānau, like family.
well, today, yeah,
Yeah, but not before.
but before, because some of them were the opposition. We're connected to the Black Power.
Yeah.
Even today, eh?
Yeah.
I think some of those whirlwinds, I think some of them are turning to Black Powers, BB or MK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so the whirlwinds. Oh, fair enough.
I'm not too sure how this story goes, bro, but
Yeah, yeah. Oh, true.
It's like a hapu thing, eh?
Yeah,
And
well,
they're like, just come from Waiwika, most of them, you know. And from what I grew up knowing, yeah, it was, we looked at it like it was a bloody gang. Said it's just a whānau thing, you know. I'd say it's a hapu thing, you know. One of the
yeah,
hapus.
yeah. Well, I say that because their women wear it, their children wear it.
oh, fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
From what I've heard anyway, a lot of people would consider this like the mob have a big influence here in this town. Like, has it always been that way, or did that happen over time, or?
yeah. I think right from the 80s, we've had the influence of the mob here. Probably a lot of our negativity back then came from alcohol. When we used to get drunk, then our negativity will come out of us, and it'll start to be antisocial. You know, probably some of it was our fault. Was due to some of our older members. You know, when they had that rebellion against the Māori, when the Māori say, "Oh, you can't come back on my marae with that on," you know, something on your face. So our members say, "Oh, well, fuck the Māoris." Now I remember one part in my life when I was young, I wasn't allowed to say kia ora.
Well,
Otherwise, my elder member would go, "Oh, you're a Māori now, you're not a Mongo."
oh, well.
So that was, you know, it was quite hard for me because when I was young, I was in this kabahaka in Opotiki. I worked at Nui Akiwa. And we won a couple of competitions up in Narawai, Coronation. I got the privilege of carrying the Tani Wharau trophy twice off the Māori Queen.
Well,
So the Māori, you know, Māoridom was quite strong with me back when I was young. And then when I transferred into this Ongo journey, my older members were saying, when they heard me say kia ora, they go, "Oh, you're Māori now, you're not a Mongo." And there was,
wow.
was,
Man, that's
I thought I was pretty fucked up.
Yeah,
bro.
that's crazy.
But I couldn't
man.
say anything because I was just a young fella.
Wow. Yeah, it's incredible, especially obviously when you look at it now, obviously, because now today's we really embrace the culture. Well, like you say, it's the abuse and state care system and all of the messed up stuff that people went through, they just became that disconnected, wasn't it? Even with our own culture.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
crazy, bro.
Yeah. That's the first Bay of Plenty Rugby League, Ongo Mob Rugby League team.
oh, true that.
There's me brother.
Nice.
You know, there's old Sam, Foxy, I was the Te Teko president back then. My brother over here, Tauranga, Frank, brother Jophus, Hunahunu, he was New Zealand then, he's passed away. And he was with Makatui. Brother Nini, Biro, he's with us. JC, Te Teko, Jim, he's with us too. Hap, another member, and Trout, another member. He became our second president. That team we played Wellington combined, and man, we thrashed them that day. It was like a cricket score. But all those players in there, you know, we had just finished coming off our competition and we were fit, bro. We were fit.
Ready to go, okay?
These aren't just our brothers who have passed away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So our brother Tarauna, Big T, original Napier,
Oh, true.
original Napier. He passed away with a heart attack, laughing.
Yeah.
He laughed because he used to laugh, and it was like a loud laugh. He had a big loud laugh, and one day he was laughing at his gate with one of his mates, and he had a heart attack,
Oh,
passed away. Got a brother here, Cat Dog, Adrian Welsh. The brother tapped out. Probably a lot of issues there. You know, one of them was meth. You know, this area this era, we didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about your feelings. So I think if this brother had to talk to somebody, you know, I don't know. I don't know, he might have been still here. But yeah, the brother tapped out here. He was a waster brother. He's one of our main hunters, our food gatherers for our events.
Well, because mahi kais are big here in Opo as well.
It is, bro.
Yeah, the hunting's huge here.
Ever since we started, bro, when we have events, you know, we had our hunters that would go out and they would gather and they would supply us with the meat. Which was a huge thing back then because meat was quite dear. So when we got it sponsored from our hunters, that was awesome. Another brother here, Goldie, Edward, another one he tapped out.
Cat and Goldie were his friends too, eh?
Yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah, Cat and Goldie, they were our two hunters. They always were together. This fella here, he tapped out first due to a lot of things. He was a waste too, bro. Because where this brother lived, up at Toto, his old man owned like 1,000 acres.
What?
And we could go up there and hunt anytime we wanted.
What?
And there was a place where he would take you on the truck up the hill, down the hill, across the river. And as soon as you used to cross this river, these half-tame wild pigs used to come running out of the bush, and because they knew it was koi time. It's coming to feed them their graze, eh? Yeah. And I went with him one time, and he left me there to feed them, and he walked into the batch where all the graze was, and I was feeding all these pigs, and man, they were like chickens. But when they start to get a bit close to you, these are wild, half wild. They're grunting, big tusks in there, and they grunting around you. Man, I started getting a bit scared. See, they might attack me, eh? It was quite freaky, but bro, you know, there was, I don't know, maybe 80, maybe 50, maybe 100 pigs just all grazing around, but it was freaky. You know, you see pigs with half ears, no ears, and you'll go, which one you want? Which one we want? And it was like that. You didn't have to go hunting. The bro just take you over to where he used to feed them, and we'll just pick which one we wanted for our event.
Grocery store.
Grocery store. It was Goldie. Momo. This is a brother-in-law. Brother Tano, he passed away from cancer, and you know, that's just my my view is that these doctors diagnosed him wrong, bro. They diagnosed him wrong. By the time they knew what was wrong with him, and they're giving him all this other medication which he didn't even have. I say that because the same thing happened to my father. The same doctor. Same doctor diagnosed him wrong. Yeah, he did all the stuff, bro.
Oh, no way.
He had all the videos
He
and
could fix anything.
yeah,
That saying, eh?
pull out the computer thing, change it and fix it, all that sort
saying
of.
that all gangsters ain't fighters, you know.
Yeah, no.
He was one of the ones that, you know, showed that, because he was, you know.
And just another thing about Tano, bro. I think he was a member for like 18 years or something. And he's probably the only member who hasn't got a record.
Oh, yeah.
Not even a parking ticket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if you think all gang members are criminals and violent, this fella doesn't even have a record, parking ticket. Photo of our 13th anniversary. These brothers were just the only ones there at the pad at the time. Those shirts were our 13th anniversary shirts. And we have Stu, Kevin, Herbie, Harris, Goldie, Dion, and Kat. And that's one of our pads. I think that was our last pad.
So I mean, from back in these days, how many presidents have there been?
So we've had 3 presidents. I'm the 3rd. The first president ran us for 21 years. And we had our second president, who was John Matthews, by the name of Chuck. And he became captain for 8 years, I think. 8 or 7 years. He took over due to our first president retiring. Gave it all up to start a new life with his new missus. And so that's how Chuck became our next president. Well, he was the vice. And I was the sergeant. So I had moved up to vice when Chuck became president. Chuck didn't really, Chuck wasn't really interested in being a president because he was like the president when Ox was running us. Ox would hardly go out to events, meetings, social events. He would never go out to those. So Chuck would go to represent. And over the time, when he would travel, he was the only one who came back with this information. That sort of gave him all the mana.
Yep.
In my eyes, he had more mana than our president, because he would go and attend all these huis. And he was quite an influence for the Bay of Plenty region, because he was also used to represent the Bay of Plenty region, him and 2 other members from other chapters.
Oh, true.
Yeah, and Chuck, he was like already running our chapter, even though he was only the vice. So I think to him, when he became president, it was sort of already over for him, because he was the president. He was running. He was running the show. And some other factors there that were pushing him away from the president. The position that his wife had in the whakatoia sort of didn't look good for her, with her husband being a president. These are things that he told me, and I sort of agreed with him too. You better watch out, your missus might get demoted or because of you. So I think that's why he gave it over to me. I actually, the day we had the meeting, and Chad announced that he wanted to step down, I actually, before he said that, I actually told him that I was stepping down, because I just whāngai a baby.
Oh, sure. Yep.
And I didn't want the position. I wanted to concentrate on my baby. And when Chuck said he wanted to give up the presidency, I came home, looked at the whole picture and thought, well, really there's no one else that can be president, because they haven't built themselves up. I was Sarge, I was vice. The sergeant back then, he was only just new, so like green. And so I thought about the presidency, and so I come to the conclusion, yep, I won. I had been sergeant for 13 years, vice for 8 years, and so just with that I thought I deserved being president. And I had a good support from the boys, from doing my sergeant job and vice job. I started to build up support from the community. So I started getting involved in the community. Yeah, so that's why I think Chut stood down. To me, he's still a big influence to me, because when I'm at hard times, I'll go around and visit him and have a sit down. And now he's an old mobster, he still got his nasty old ways and thinks those are the solutions, but it's good to collaborate with the old dog.
So I mean, bro, like for you, when you became president, and like you said, you started becoming involved in the community, like what did that look like for you at the time?
Yeah, I suppose we have to go back to 2014. We had a fun day, first fun day for our tamariki, our whiru whānau tamariki.
Oh, nice. Whereabouts?
We held it down at the United Club Rooms. So we held it down there. We got our wives involved because it was all about our babies, our children. So we told our mamas to be involved, start having hui, and start organising stuff for our babies. There was fundraising going on. So there was like carousels being hired, bouncy castles being hired, and we had a great day. Eh?
No, it was
We had
the
a-
best time ever, and our kids got to get to know each other.
Our chapter always used to have events for the adults, nothing for the children. So this was a special time when we organised this event for the children, and to show our children we can come together without beer and put on an event, drug-free, alcohol-free day. Yeah, we did that. It wasn't just one day, it ended up being 2 days.
Nice.
Yeah, we had 2 days of fun day. Yeah, well, at that fun day, we had Etu Whānau come down and deliver a kaupapa to us.
Oh, yeah.
Etu Whānau was Harry Tam,
Oh, yeah.
Esther Whairi, and
Tria Pairama.
Tria
Pairama.
Pairama. They came down to our fun day and had a little meeting with us and delivered their kaupapa to us. I think at the time, groups like us were called H2R, hard to reach. And that's why Harry Tam and them started coming around, knocking on the doors and asking us what would we like, because we would never ask for help, or we would always say, oh, we're all right. But we would struggle, but we would still say, we're all right. And Harry and them, when they came through, they were breaking those doors down, bro.
Nice.
And they sort of opened me up to asking.
Like when you wanted to make those positive changes, like was there anything that sort of triggered that, bro? Like in yourself?
What triggered it was me having mokos. And the mokos, me looking at the mokos and them looking at me and the rest of our gang whānau, and it looked like they liked it. I know they like the whānau, but they look like they like to read and all that. And so that triggered me to think that, what's good for them if they are to join this life. So had a lot of thinking, how am I going to do this? Because I'm sort of like myself, bro, changing things by myself.
Yeah.
But I think the older members know that change is good, staying the same is bad.
That's it.
I thought it was having mokos, eh? That was sort of
bro.
seeing those babies, eh?
Yeah, bro, especially when you have boy mokos, eh? Yeah. And then when they start to walk and talk and they do all this and say all that, and but they've got to have their child life, eh, bro? Not grow up fast and be a gangster. They've got to go through their childhood life, which is healthier.
Like, so from going from there, so Harry Tam got involved, and it was obviously a good influence on the bros. So I mean, what did that sort of lead to after that?
Yeah, so after meeting Harry, me and my wife ended up flying down to Wellington through Etu Whānau, buying us plane ticket. And so after a couple of those hui in Wellington, me and my wife came back to Opotiki and decided we will start a playgroup involving our whero whānau tamariki only, because we wanted to teach them that what they see in our mongo of life is not all what you see. And just wanted to put a different perception in our children's minds, other than what they saw, which was in their parties and fights and bling bling, flash this.
Wow, that sounds like powerful stuff.
Yeah, and we ran our play group for like 3 years. Wasn't much, it consisted of 1 day a week, which was Fridays, 2 hours, 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Do a lot of fun activities, some educational stuff. And we had the support of OPS, which is Opotiki Primary School. They would give us whatever resources we asked. And that's where we held our playgroup program, was at OPS school. So me and my wife ran that. My wife was the one who was on the floor. I was in the back cooking kai. We just wanted to give our children that were growing up and look like they were going to join us too. We wanted to give them a different picture to our gang life, and we wanted to clue them up about the negatives. So that went on for 3 years, and we eventually, our children grew up, and we ran out of funding, and that was
That's
it.
sad to hear, bro. That's sad to hear, because that sounds bloody powerful, man. What you wanted to do was really inform the youth, I guess, of the realities, was it? Of actual gang life and what that's actually like, is it?
Yeah, and plus giving them more curriculum, because one thing we learned about those meetings going to Wellington was that we never used to read to our children.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If we read to our children, maybe they would have prepped them for early childhood centres, or even school. To me, when I was under 5, that was the area we were targeting, the under 5s, because we learnt going to Wellington at those meetings that the first 1,000 days were the most important for your tamariki. And so my wife wanted to target that age group.
Yeah.
And because apparently what you're told at that age, it stays in you forever.
So your wife has played a big part as well.
Yeah,
Massive part.
yeah. My wife has been with me from the start. She's been through when we first started. It was really rough for her because of my behaviour. Out of the 10 of us, I was the youngest, and I was the only one with a child. So my son, he grew up seeing his father in the 80s with this kind of behaviour. Must have been just so faithful to me, bro. So she stuck with me through the shit I put her through. Me and my wife, I was 15, she was 16 when we started.
Wow. That's basically when you started in the mob too.
That's how old when we had my son. So my wife has seen all the bad behaviour, the good, the bad and the ugly. I think it was when I started being president is when I moved there closer to me to engage with our chapter, because the ones that were joining me were now our children and our mukos. And who knows them better than our wives, than their mums. We actually started a well-being huis, which was so like every fortnight, every Saturdays. This was when we had a space. We were given a space by Whakatoia to support us.
So that's the iwi.
That's the iwi. They support us and they gave us a space, a room, to have our wellness huis in. And this consisted of anyone who turned it up, any members who turned up would open up to whatever happened that day or that week, and we would try and get them to open up of some of the bad stuff that is happening. Yeah, and a good one that we've learnt is through a hui, is through Dennis Makalio and his wife Liz, who delivered a kaupapa.
Yeah, they're doing massive things as well.
It was the bro talk.
Yeah, bro talk.
Oh, that was awesome, bro. They gave me a lot of information about myself, where all that anger and that came from. After learning that, bro, oh man, I thought, after learning that, where it all comes from, I started to be, I was like, there was a big thing taken off my shoulders, bro.
Yeah, I bet, bro.
And I actually found out how to control myself, how to control that anger, and where to put it, and where to stay was in the cortex. Stay there, because that's the planner, that's the, yeah.
Oh man, so you've had a few life-changing moments.
Yeah, and that was delivered to the chapter, to the ones that turned up. So, and they gasped, they grabbed it, and they just knew, that's where their violence come from. And they're having better lives today, brother. Fuck, my life is great, bro, especially with myself. I'm not so fucking angry. When some bad shit happens, I focus on the whole picture, not just the bad bits. And then I come up with a bit of a solution.
And it's so inspiring and massive to hear, especially coming from yourself. I mean, the life you've lived and the position that you hold now. I mean, man, looks like good things can continue to happen, with that mindset. Yeah. Because I mean, would you say here in the town there are a lot of young fellas coming through the ranks, is it, bro? Or
there is, bro.
Yep.
There is.
More than my area, Cap. It's sort of like bloomed in the last 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Back when I first jumped on, there was only a handful of us.
Oh, so the numbers have actually increased over the years.
Well, due to the barbarians coming here too.
Oh yeah. Oh, so there's more than one chapter here in Opotiki.
There's like, there's more than one, brother.
Oh yeah.
We've got a lot of outsiders living here.
Oh yeah.
Three main ones here are the Top Rocker. That's a branch of the Opotiki chapter, and then you got the barbarians, who are a branch from Wairoa, I think, or Hawke's Bay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of interest in the young fellas.
Well, bro, can I ask, so like here in town, here in Opotiki, is it just the mongrel mob here, or?
There's mongrel mob here, but there's also MKs. MKs, they live, they up the Waiwaka. Some of them live in town.
Mostly dominated by the mob. But yeah, there's been tribesmen in town.
Well, before the patch ban came, that's the only patch you would see was the mongrel mob. If there was another different patch you would see within Obviously, they were just coming to either get smart or stand on our toes or...
Yeah.
Parlay through the town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had many of those times they kept.
Well, because we're... it's like a big intersection here, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you got to go through to get to Gisborne
Yeah,
and all that.
and then you got to stop in and either get a quail or get some gas and then that's where things evolve from, and if they're wearing their patches.
Yeah.
So I mean, for you, bro, like from now until back in the days, like, so back in the days, what was your like view of other gangs?
Yeah, didn't like them, bro.
So it was just, there was no talking, nothing like that. Like, did you have whānau that were in other gangs, or?
Yeah, I've got whānau in other gangs, yeah. Yeah, there was no talking back then.
Yeah. And I mean, how has that changed now?
Yeah, it's changed a lot. Since I've been president, I've been at the tables with the opposition.
And is that because you just want a way forward, bro? Is it like, do you see peace and things like this happening, or is it already happening, or?
Well, I don't quite see peace going to happen. It's bigger than me, but for me and my members, it's bigger than him going to jail because we don't get on. If I was to, my member was to have fights with them other than another way solution, that means he goes to jail. His family haven't got another wage in the house.
Yeah.
No one wins, eh?
And that's through the mob's fault. That's the mob's fault. Doing that to that family, because the only solution we had was to fight. And the other solution is to sit on a table and
Try and solve it, eh?
and solve it without it going onto the streets. Yeah, for me, I just either one outs or I go and sit on the table with them, bro.
Yeah.
Because I don't want my member going to jail, and then I don't want to see their family struggling. Because usually the man is the earner.
Well, like you were saying, it's sort of like no one wins in that situation, eh? Because someone gets hurt and someone goes to jail. So no, there's no winner, is it?
Yeah. So there's actually no light at the end of the tunnel so I suppose it just goes on forever and ever until somebody goes to the table.
Yeah. With people like you around, I'm sure you know, things will happen for sure. So is there a rehab in town as well, is it?
Yeah, there was a rehab here, bro. Was due to us having a noho back in 2016. Wellness noho too. And due to our members getting involved in meth, and I could see our chapter getting sick because of their meth and their families. So I organised a noho for our chapter. It was like two and a half day noho. We had over 100 people come through.
Wow.
We had everyone attend from my chapter. Other chapters came through, Tauranga I think, just to see what we were doing. Yeah, and I wanted to address this meth problem that was coming in to my chapter. So out of that noho, we established that, we didn't establish, we seen that we had a meth problem here in our chapter. And it was quite a dangerous one too. Because the boys were getting really amped up on it. Even my son.
Half the town. And it's a community thing too, eh? Not just within.
Yeah, because I think we're like 10 or 20 years behind our other brothers that live in the city. When their meth problem happened, it didn't get to us till 20 years later. See, ours was just Well, I think it's been here for like, maybe 20 years.
20 years, eh?
And,
Yeah, it was quiet back in the 80s.
was-
Like there's only a handful of people on it, from what I've been told from a few aunties, uncles. Like there's a handful of them. You could count the ones that were on it back then. Get to like around midway through the 2000s, then all of us started hitting the stuff, and then there was another generation, but then it started becoming wider and wider, and then half the town, well, not half, but a lot of the town, everyone was on it.
So it wasn't just a thing like within the mob, it was just the whole town, was it? Or not the whole town, but a big portion of it. Wow. And so was that what led you to do that noho? Just seeing the effects it was having?
Yeah, I didn't. Well, it's all new to me, bro, because I'm like, I've never tried it.
Oh, okay.
So I shouldn't even have a comment because I've never tried, don't know what it is.
Oh, so you've actually never tried meth?
Me?
Yeah.
Nah.
Wow.
No, I've never tried it, bro.
Oh, so obviously then, seeing the effects, you would have really seen
So
the
yeah,
effects.
that's all I see, bro. It's just the effects. My son, my daughter, I could see it there, and their behaviours with their families. It was all pretty up for me, what I saw.
And so that was what led to the noho?
Yeah, led to my noho. And I think it was just me and my wife driving that.
Wow.
But
But that eventually led to a rehab?
Yeah, because we had a big problem in my chapter, and I approached Whakatoia, Louisa. I approached her, and so we went to Whakatoia, to Louisa. Obviously, she had many meetings with Ngāti Awa, used to Tūhoi, and Kauro, I think.
Yep.
And between all of those, iwi, they managed to get the grant. This is like a second time around, and I think in 2023, was it?
Yeah.
2023, a meth rehab got opened up here in Opotiki, and
It took a while, eh?
so that took like 7-8 years,
But it's here now.
but it's here. And why I wanted it in the Bay of Plenty was that our brothers that were on addiction, or the whānau that were on addiction, were on meth. They didn't want to travel out of Opotiki to go to a rehab or out of the Bay of Plenty. So we wanted one in the Bay of Plenty. But even better, it got to Opotiki. So we had our fun day, organised, this is our second fun day, organised a fun day for the community this time. Wasn't for the Whiro Whānau Tamariki, it was for the whole community. And we had 3 chapters put this on, which was Top Rocker, Barbarian, and Opotiki chapter. So I organised all this. I went around all the retails, all the business in Opotiki, and asked them for funding. Just asked them for anything. It's big, small, whatever you got, I'll take.
Yeah, for sure.
And we were looking at catering for 500 children.
Yep.
So we made 500 hangis, gave 500 free hangis out. I think there was like 1,000 people there. They
Yeah.
come throughout
1,000 people.
throughout that day. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome, and because it was organised from the Mongo mob, we were getting bad responses from public that they just want to recruit.
Yeah.
So the leaders, we decided not to have any regalia, no patches. We just wanted to give to our tamariki and the poriki, give back to the children and show them that we can do this without our regalia on, we can do this without beer around, drugs around.
Yep.
It was awesome, bro. We didn't get much publicity about it. We hardly get any publicity about the good things we do. This is my son, Te Whanarere, who was killed on the roads due to a head-on collision. And through the coroner's report, he was killed by suicide. That's the coroner's report. That's why I say my son was killed, not accident. And he was 11 years old. And I didn't know how to honour him, bro. But I found a way, and that was for a fishing competition.
Oh, okay. Yep.
How I thought about how that come about was my wife. She's administration for a ECE, Early Childhood Centre, and she was coming home saying, oh, we need some funding, get a van for their children so they can go out. And yeah, that made my brain think, and also made me think about here's a position from where to put my son, how to incorporate my son into this memorial thing. So I created a fishing competition in memory of my son, which was held around his birthday, September the 12th.
Where else was that held?
It's held here in Opotiki, now Lake Beach, heading down the east coast, just out of town. It's held there, and heaviest snapper, heaviest kahawai, heaviest trevally, and the same with the children's section. Was very successful event, fishing comp. It generated $5,300, and all the proceeds were donated to the Early Childhood Centre, Te Punu o Tarawa. I just want to mention my wife, Emma Paul Hunuhunu, because all our OGs, my whole chapter knows that she's right behind this chapter, and you know, she has a big interest because a lot of them are nephews and muckles, and she has a son in there.